So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back once again to the greatest watch market update show in the world. Today, I'm going to be talking about a couple of subjects, topics. I'm going to be talking about top 10 best selling watch models of 2024. And also, we're going to be talking about top 10 uh, best watch brands of 2024, and also a little watch market update. And also, we're going to be talking about, well, let's see if we can make it to that one. We'll be surprised for you guys. Um, so let's just jump right into it. Our top 10 luxury watch brands of 2024. We're going to start um, from number 10. Let's start from number 10. The number 10 watch brand of 2024, it is the Zenith. The legacy of innovation, precision and precision. Unbelievable. Zenith, number 10. Unbelievable. Number 9. Number 9. Top 10 watch brands of 2024. It is the Omega, the legacy of precision and innovation. Omega, unbelievable. That ninth position, ninth spot, unbelievable. That Omega. Number 8, you're not going to believe it, but number 8, the eighth spot is Chopard. Chopard, unbelievable. That Chopard. The essence of luxury. That's what they say, the essence of luxury. Unbelievable, that Chopard. Unbelievable. Number, what number is that one? Wow, I can't believe that. Number 7, it is the Cartier. You know, the epitome of elegance. That Cartier watch brand is unbelievable. Unbelievable, that Cartier watch brand. On the seventh, on the seventh spot, the Cartier. Unbelievable. Number 6, Breitling, the aviation specialist. The Breitling, the aviation specialist. Unbelievable, that Breitling. This watch really, I couldn't believe it when I saw the spot they're in. Number 5. You're not gonna believe this. They say that Swatch watches didn't help out this watch brand, but it sure did. People were laughing about this, the 50 Phantoms of the Blancpain. Well, Blancpain is in the 5th spot, as the top 10 luxury watch brands of 2024. Unbelievable, that Blancpain. The art of craftsmanship. Blancpain, they're back again, up there again, on spot number 5. On number 4, unbelievable. I'm pretty impressed with this watch brand being number 4. It is the Jaeger LaCoultre, the pioneer of complications. The pioneer of complications. Unbelievable. Jaeger. Unbelievable. The 3rd spot goes to no other than Audemars Piguet. Unbelievable. Where tradition meets modernity. Unbelievable, that Audemars Piguet. Unbelievable, but true. They're there. And the 3rd position as the top 10 luxury watch brands of 2024. AP in the 3rd pole position. And the number 2 pole position is no other than Patek Philippe, the legacy of excellence. Unbelievable. Patek Philippe in the 2-spot position. Unbelievable. In the number 1 pole position, like when Ayrton Senna, the F1 driver, that he's no longer with us, he would always get, the 1 pole position. It's no other than Rolex, the king of luxury watches. There they are. Those are your top 10 luxury watch brands of 2024. Unbelievable. But I'm pretty impressed what Swatch Watches did with Blancpain. They did something together. Blancpain was, pretty much an unbelievable time machine. These guys are unbelievable factory watchmakers, Blancpain. But I never thought that Swatch Watches would really help out in the magnitude that they did help out Blancpain. They're number 5, man, on luxury watches of 2024. Unbelievable. And always the undisputed champ, as always. You know who it is. I told you, Rolex, the king of luxury watches. Now we're going to go to the top 10 best-selling watches of 2024. The top 10 best-selling watches of 2024. I mean, this is unbelievable. Even I can't even believe this, but it's the truth. The number 1 best-selling watch of 2024, I'm not going to tell you. We're going to keep that one for the last, the number 1 spot. We're going to go with number 10. Unbelievable. It is the Zenith, the Chronomaster Sport. The Zenith Chronomaster Sport. Reference number 03-3100-3600/69. Unbelievable, but true. There you go. Zenith, the Chronomaster, was one of the best-selling watches of 2024. Unbelievable. If you guys know, what watches were the best-selling watches of 2024, put it up there, put your comments up there. Come on, guys. Come on, do something. Unbelievable. Number 9, as the best-selling watch of 2024, watches of 2024. Anybody know? You want to say something? Say something. Come on. No? It is the TAG Heuer Monaco Collection Calibre 11. Reference number CAW211R. Unbelievable, that TAG Heuer. Unbelievable. The number 8th best-selling watch of 2024. It is the Audemars Piguet Royal Oak Double Balance Wheel Open Work. Steel, fully steel. Unbelievable. Reference number 15407ST. I can't believe it, but they're there as the 8th pole position. This one really, it took me back, like, wow, can't believe this. And number 7, that's right, it's dead. You're right, watch market is dead. Nobody's buying watches, ladies and gentlemen. Get that through your head. Nobody's buying watches. Don't get fleeced in flim flam in this 2025. Don't get fleeced by these hoodwinks and hucksters. I'm just letting you know. Don't get fleeced and hoodwinked this 2025. No one is buying watches. The watch industry is dead. Unbelievable. Nobody's buying watches. Unbelievable. He's right. Nobody's buying watches. This gentleman just said it right now. It's unbelievable. But number 7 as the best-selling watches of 2024, it's unbelievable. I'm telling you, there's a bunch of people out there that just buy watches, and you're like saying, wow, they really bought this watch that much in 2024? Yes, they did. It is the Grand Seiko Heritage Collection. Unbelievable. SBGA 211, just in case you want to look it up. Unbelievable. In the 7th pole position, the Grand Seiko Heritage Collection. Unbelievable. This is what they're buying. This is what people were spending their children's tuition money on. They were spending their money on the Grand Seiko. Unbelievable. On the AP Royal Oak double balanced wheel, open work. The Tag Heuer Monaco. The Zenith Chrono Master. Unbelievable. They were giving away their children's tuition money on these watches. On the pole position of number 6 as the top 10 best-selling watch of 2024. Anybody has an idea? You're getting close. You're getting close. That guy right there with the Omega Speedmaster. You're getting close. You're getting close. It is the Cartier Santos. Unbelievable. In that 6th pole position, the Cartier Santos. Reference number WSSA0029. Unbelievable. Cartier Santos. This is the 6th top selling watch of 2024. Unbelievable. In the 5th pole position, does anybody have an idea? No? Anybody want to put something up there? And I'll say yes or no. Right away, you're right. In the 5th most selling watch of 2024. Unbelievable. Like, these people really gave their money away, man, to this watch model. It is the Vacheron Constantin Overseas 4500 V/110A B128. The 4500 collection, where there's a black dial, white dial, whatever dial it is, blue dial, which is the most popular one. This watch was sold the most in the 5th pole position. Unbelievable. In 2024. Let me have that Vacheron Constantin right now. People were just giving away their children's tuition money, unbelievable. And nobody's buying watches, ladies and gentlemen. Nobody's buying watches. I can promise you nobody is buying watches. I'm not believing. Wow. Listen to this gentleman. This gentleman right now says that he's not believing that Vacheron Constantin, the overseas model, the 4500V, sold one of the most watches in the 5th pole position in 2024. He doesn't even believe it. Can you imagine that? He doesn't believe it. Unbelievable, but true. Okay. If you didn't believe that Vacheron Constantin sold so many of those watch models, the 4500V stainless steel, blue dial, black dial, white dial, silver dial, if you don't believe that, then you're not going to believe this one now that I'm going to tell you. You're not going to believe it. You're not going to believe it, ladies and gentlemen. In the 4th pole position, anybody have an idea who sold the most watches in the, number 4 pole position? This is going to knock your socks off and blow your hair back. Unbelievable, but true. Unbelievable. I'm getting kind of excited already because you guys are getting me excited because you guys just finished telling me you don't believe that Vacheron sold so many watch models of the overseas 4500V. In number 4, nobody wants to say nothing. Okay. Nobody says something. Somebody says something. But it is the Tudor Black Bay 58. Reference number M79030N/0001. They sold the most of those watches. That's right. They sold the most. The Black Bay People like to make fun of the Tudor watch brand. Unbelievable. Unbelievable that the Tudor Black Bay 58 sold a lot of those watches in 2024. Best-selling watch. Best-selling watch of 2024. Unbelievable but true. In the number 3 pole position as selling the top 10 best-selling watches of 2024. Anybody have an idea? We're getting to the good stuff now. This is top 3 material. Let's see where you guys are at, you know? Let's see where you guys are at. Top 3 right now coming up. Top 3. Let's see what you spoof balls got to say about number 3. Unbelievable, but this is number 3. No takers? AP at number 3. Unbelievable what this gentleman said. Unbelievable. AP was number 8. You weren't listening. Was number 8 with the Royal Oak double balance wheel open work. Full stainless steel. They were at number 8. But number 3, nobody knows it, right? As the best-selling watch of 2024, best-selling watch of 2024, unbelievable. It is no other than, unbelievable, I mean, this is a discontinued watch, you know. It is the Patek Philippe Nautilus 5711 stainless steel with that beautiful blue dial. These people are still selling that watch like his bread, you know, sliced bread, you know, selling and pumping Patek Philippe's. Unbelievable but true. They are number 3 in the pole position as top 10 best-selling watches of 2024. Number 2, if anybody guesses this one, Sweet Kick Kino will say hello to you guys. Sweet Kick Kino will say hello to you guys if you guess, which is the number 2 best-selling watch of 2024. Come on, guys. No, the model. We're talking about the model. Gentlemen, we're talking about the model. Yep, this man right here said it, Kevin. It is the Omega Speedmaster Professional Moon Watch. That's right, Kevin. That's right, Kevin. You got that right, Papa. It is the Omega Speedmaster Professional Moon Watch. Reference number 310-3042-5001-002. That's right. Number 2. We don't want no cheaters here. We want real, authentic people here. Don't be Googling it, you know. Don't Google it. Don't Google it. And the number 1 watch model that sold the most, number 1 that sold the most in 2024, the best, the top. Wow, he said Rolex something. That's good already, Kevin. That's good, Kevin. That's really good. The number 1 watch brand. Moon watches. Okay, so here we go. Okay. The number 1 watch that sold the most out of all Submariner, okay, that sold the most in 2024. Unbelievable. They sold a whole lot of frogging watches. You know, I said frogging watches of this model. Okay. You're not going to believe this. No takers still, huh? It is the Rolex GMT Master 2. Unbelievable. The Batgirl. You know, the Batgirl. Unbelievable, that Batgirl. Reference number 126710BLNR. You don't believe it, huh? I don't believe it again. He doesn't believe it. Unbelievable, these people. I mean, I'm not saying this, this is Sweet Kino's information that he Googles it, And I'm telling you, when Sweet Kino tells you something, ponle billete ahí, papá. Ponle billete. It is the bad girl. The number one best-selling watch model of 2024. De sold, vendieron con cojones. Here, vende. Coño, they sold more marble square footage than I sell. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. It is the truth, ladies and gentlemen. They're the number one watch model that sold the most in 2024. People gave away their children's lunch money away, bus money away, tuition money away, Catholic school money away to get that Rolex stainless steel GMT with a Jubilee bracelet, 40 millimeter. Unbelievable looking time machine. They gave it away. Unbelievable, but true. You know, Gentlemen, so there you have it. You have the top 10 best-selling watches of 2024, and you have the top 10 luxury watch brands of 2024. I know you guys still don't believe it, and that's fine with me that you guys don't believe it. I'm just here to give you the information that Sweet Kino gives me. And remember, Kino is the brains of this channel, and I am the voice. I am the voice. Ladies and gentlemen, I want you to know that, I'm not going to be here too long. We're going to be celebrating another milestone in this, organic watch channel. We're about to hit 7,500 organic watch channels. That's a lot of organic watch channel subscribers. We have people that work in the branding industry, and they tell us always that if we have 7,500 organic watch channel subscribers, that is the equivalent. I don't even want to tell you the numbers because it sounds crazy, but they say that's incredible. Nowadays, people to push their button, to subscribe in your channel is almost impossible. But, for some reason, they're still, subscribing to our channel. And I told Kino that I will be stepping down after 10,000 subscribers, organic subscribers. I'll give it to him. All right. And I know you guys are in love with a lot of different channels, like the Walrus Fat Bastard, like the Hungry Hippo, Mr. Magoo. You guys give them all their, thank you chat, super chats, all that chat. You guys give them Snapchats, Deputy Droopy Butthole Eyes with the Tweety Bird haircut, and his sidekick, Jiminy Cricket with the spray can Chia Pet hair. Unbelievable, and that's fine. The two Jehovah Witness brothers, Big Pun and Heavy D. And we get caught always holding the short end of the stick. And that's fine. We're still going to keep on doing this because we're stupid like that. And we like to inform you and help you out. So I'm just letting you know about that subject of what's going on. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to talk to you about a subject, and we're going to be talking about luxury authorized dealers throughout the world, throughout the United States, the Caribbean, all that good stuff. And these authorized dealers, I'm going to start off with the Caribbean. We have luxury authorized dealers in the Caribbean that they're a bunch of flim-flammers who have been fleecing you for too long. When you get on one of those cruise ships, out of somewhere in Florida, somewhere in Cape Canaveral, Fort Lauderdale, Florida, Miami, Florida, wherever it is, Puerto Rico, when you get in those ships and you go to an island like the one I'm going to tell you, there's a man that has a luxury authorized dealer in this island, and you need to be careful because this guy's a real fleece ball. This guy's a spoof ball. This guy is a flim flammer. This guy is unbelievable, and this guy is no other than in the island. So when you go there, you know how to attack this person, and this person doesn't even hide. He'll tell you, you gotta grease me up. This guy is in the island of Bonaire. Did you hear that right, guys? The island of Bonaire. Bonaire, like Air Jordan, Bonaire. This guy's a piece of work. This guy, he'll tell you right up front, you want this watch, you gotta grease me up. And we're talking about the owner. The owner. So when you go, yeah, it is. It's a beautiful place to scuba dive and all that good stuff. You're right about that. But not to go buy a watch over there, because they're going to flim flam you and fleece you over there for some grease money. All right? So if you go to Bonaire, it's beautiful. Like this gentleman said, it's a beautiful island. Let me tell you, one of the most beautiful islands out there. Not much to do than scuba dive, and drink a lot of brewski over there, choopy in Bonaire. So, you know what's going on. The other place, if you do go, este tipo es una gonorrea. This guy in this place is a gonorrhea too, so he's a gonorrhea. We don't name the name of the place, store, whatever it is. We're just telling you in this island, there's a bunch of unbelievable, these people that are over there. They're just looking to get you taken. Grease them up. And we're going to be talking about this island that has authorized luxury watch, stores over there. High end, We're talking about St. Martin. St. Martin. You got a bunch of flim flammers over there too. That they want you to, grease them up. Grease them up. Okay? So if you want to watch, whether it's Bonaire, whether it's St. Martin, you walk into their luxury store, whatever watch you're looking for, and if you're looking for, say you're looking for a Rolex Oyster Flex Pikachu, right? Let's just say an example. I'm giving you an example, ladies and gentlemen. You walk in there and you say, ¿Quién es el gerente? Who's the boss here? And you say, I got $5,000 to give you if you can get me this watch. And you say, I want the Pikachu. He might not give it to you that day, but once you leave him the information, they'll be calling you up to deal with you for those 5 G's, because you're going to grease him up with 5 G's. You understand me? I'm not saying that this is a Rolex store. I'm just saying, I just give you an example. If you're looking for that watch or another watch brand or an Omega or whatever it is, you come in, you say, I got $2,000, whoever can find me this watch. And I promise you that watch, it will appear. I know you guys were shocked hearing all this. Are you guys learning? You're learning about this stuff? Okay. Our number 3rd place in the Caribbean too. And you got a bunch of luxury watch stores, ADs, you got Patek, you got Hublot, you got Rolex. You got them all there. You know what island that is? And all of them work with that. They want you to flash the money in their face. Look what I have. Let's say you want a Patek, and you go like this to them. I got $10,000 for the one that can find me this watch model by Patek. Right? Let's say you want that. Let's say you want that 5890 with the dungaree blue dial and the dungaree blue strap. You know, white gold. I got $10,000. You know, you write that to them in the nose. Esa gente son una gonorrea, papá. You don't know about this, guys. I'm here to teach you guys. Remember, I'm always going to teach you knowledge. You go like this to them, $10,000. And you know where this place is at? You still don't know. Nobody wants to say a word about where is this place at in the Caribbean. No? It is in St. Thomas, the Virgin Islands. I'm getting to Turks. I'm getting to Turks and Caicos. Be patient, Bobby. We're talking about St. Thomas, the U.S. Virgin Islands. You don't understand how those rats and those cockroaches work over there, ladies and gentlemen. You don't know how they work over there. These cockroaches are unbelievable. These cockroaches are unbelievable. They're like rats. Ladies and gentlemen, do you want to soar with the eagles or you want to continue crawling with the rats? You got to stop being dodo birds. You got to stop being dodo birds, ladies and gentlemen. The watch market is dead. You go like this to them. Whatever watch brand you're looking for. Rolex, Hublot, Patek, Omega, whatever it is that you're looking for. If you go into the Patek authorized dealer in St. Thomas, those guys look like pimps over there, you know. You know, with their shirt unbuttoned and with a chain hanging out. And they have a big booklet open up, you know, with a pair of Patek Eugene cufflinks. You know, they have Patek Philippe Eugene, the Las Vegas flashing vagrant walker, in their AD. They call it the Eugene links, you know, cufflinks. Eugene. When you get there, you ask for the Eugene cufflinks. They have it there for you. Unbelievable, true. You know, they have that there. They don't have no watches there, but you tell them I got for you 10, 15. You know, whatever is the watch you're looking for. This is how they operate over there. And you tell them that Sweet Kid Kino told you all this information. Sweet Kid Kino's unbelievable. He's a brilliant mind. You know, he's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. And if you go to Rolex, the same thing too. You know, you flash them, you know, $5,000, $6,000, whatever is the watch you're looking for. You know, it would appear. It's gonna appear. I know what I'm telling you. The watch will appear. Okay. And if you go to this other island is unbelievable. A gentleman just finished saying that, you know, in Turks and Caicos. Unbelievable, that Turks and Caicos. You know, there are a bunch of flim-flammers there too. You got to grease them up. Con el billete en la mano, papi, grease them up. You grease them up, you want the watch. Listen, guys, I got to be honest. If you ask me right now, and you can ask me, hey, Juan, have you greased up these luxury authorized dealers? I'm going to have to tell you the truth. I mean, maybe you won't believe me, but Scout's honor, 100% truth. I have never greased up any of these flim-flammers. I've waited for the watches, and I'm going to tell you a secret. Because after this video is done today, you're the lucky ones that are seeing it live, because this watch video, I'm not going to put it out. I'm going to put it away in the safe. Never. I've never greased up none of those people. But I am going to tell you a story that I told you about, that I have a Cartier 57. No, this is an AP. I have a 5711 Patek Philippe stainless steel. And I did a big job for the Patek Philippe authorized dealer. And I sold them the marble, flooring, all that good stuff. I sold them, you know. We did a job. And this is the way I was able to allocate, you know, a Patek Philippe, because I did a job. And I got that watch. Again, you're hearing this today. This video will be in lockdown. Whoever saw it, you got to see it. And when I'm done, I'm not going to show it no more, because you were the guys that got lucky. And you're hearing the story. How did Juan get that Patek Philippe? Simple. I did a job for the owners of the authorized dealer. And I did this, and I worked, and I sent the marble, the container, all this good stuff. And I said, this is the watch I want. Just before they discontinued the watch. Just before they discontinued that Patek Philippe 5711 blue dial. And that's the watch I got. And I paid for it retail. 34 and change. That's how I got the Patek. You know, I was telling you about that guy, you know, that cockroach, the owner of Patek, you know, the CEO, CFO, whatever he is, he's a cockroach. You know, that he says that we can never get those watches. Today you heard how I got the watch. You are the lucky 13 people that heard, how did Juan Nieves get a Patek Philippe? Well, I did a job. I am in the marble stone business, the natural marble stone business. This is what I do for a living. And I love to collect watches. So the owners, you know, told me, hey, Juan, you're helping us out with this, that, you know, and I didn't get it, you know, in 3 months. It took a while, and, you know, and take the marble and put it against the watch, and I got the watch. I got a Patek Philippe stainless steel 5711 blue dial, just like around 3 months before it got discontinued. All right, guys? And there it is. So this is how I got that Patek. So if you go to Turks and Caicos, you got to grease up those people with it. Just walk in. You walk in. You want to see how I walk into those places? Okay, guys, so I heard you got watches for me, and I got some money in my pocket that I want to give away. They just smile. They smile. If you're looking for a watch, you just walk in like that. Hey, guys, I heard, I got the phone call that my watch came in, and I have some cash, some Franklins that I want to grease up to the person that gets me that watch. Whatever watches that you want. This is how you do it. Don't go in with the pastries and the French bottled wine. It's bullshit. Excuse my French, but I don't think bullshit is a bad word, right? Help me out, guys. But you go in there and you say, hey, guy, you mock him, you know? Guys, now that I heard that the watch market is dead and nobody's buying watches, my pockets are loaded. I got some cash that I want to give away to you flim flammers, because I know you guys want to get greased up. It's the truth, ladies and gentlemen. It's the truth. You know, it's the truth. And you guys, you know, that way you can cut corners and you don't have to buy from the secondary gray watch market Muppet dealers, you know, and channels. You know, this is what they do. This is what they do. They grease them up. So you become also a dealer, you know, and you grease them up. You know, you cut the middleman. The middleman is the Muppet Boiler Room secondary gray watch market. I want you guys to learn. Look at this, Ed. Unbelievable, that Ed Blair. He's unbelievable. Ed Blair is a smart man. Ed Blair is a brilliant mind. Ed Blair, it's unbelievable. Ed Blair has said that this watch channel is a public service watch announcement channel. Is their mama was? That's very nice of you. Very nice. But this is it. You know, you said that word, you said, you know, mama and all that good stuff, but then you go ahead and you still maintain that flim flammers lifestyle, you know. You buy it from them, you know? But that's how it is. I'm trying to show you what's going on and how you should do things. Also, let's go to the United States now. You know, you have a bunch of different stores in, you know, let's say in Florida, they carry the Rolex line, and these guys have to grease up their salesperson. You know, not with a bottle of Blue Label, not with a French bottle of wine, and not with pastries. Con el billete, papi, con la pasta, con los chelos, con los cuartos, con la pasta. You know, con la cuarta, con la moneda. No money, no honey. And you got all these places here, you know, you got in the malls, you know, all those malls in Florida, you know, whether it's in Orlando, whether it's in Miami, or you got these people that have Rolex line and they have this line, that line, and you're looking for what you want, you got to grease them up, papi. You got to grease them up. This is how it is, ladies and gentlemen. I'm telling you all this stuff because this is, you know, there's a gentleman that says that, you know, he gives all his information to you, but he also has a membership that you have to pay, I don't know, like $10 a month so he can give you secret information. I'm not asking you for that membership of $10. I'm giving it to you. You know, there's people out there, they ask you for the super chats, Snapchats, thank you chats, membership, I don't know, all these things. And the only thing that Sweet Kid Kino asks is for, you know, $1 for his, you know, for his baby's formula and his diapers and all that good stuff. And we don't even get that. But these guys get membership perks and, you know, information. And they come to our channel to learn all this and then give it to you. And you guys pay $10 membership for that. But, you know, this video that you guys are hearing, it will be in lockdown. Because I told you how I got my Patek Philippe stainless steel 5711 Blue Dial. I told you how I got it. That's right. Suckers in todos los... It's right. The flim flammers are saying the watch market is back. Keep on believing that, ladies and gentlemen. Nobody's buying watches. So it's your time to do the same thing that these hucksters and hoodwinks do, that they go in the back doorway and grease up all these watch, you know, luxury ADs. You can do it now. The only watches, you're going to be able to buy whatever watch, and you're going to be able to have, you know, to cherry pick whatever you want. You're going to have a little delay on the Daytonas and the Submariners and the GMTs, you know, those hot watches that you people want. But eventually you're going to be able to get them, ladies and gentlemen. It's a matter of greasing up, you know, greasing up. I told you, Scout's honor, that I have never greased up any of these people. The watches that I have gotten is because I have done work for them on their AD luxury boutique stores, and I have been able to get the watch that I wanted that way. You know, it's the way I got it. But it wasn't because I greased them up. I said, you know, I said, can you get me this watch? And then they told me, can you do me this and this date line? Will you be able to have it ready? Blah, 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 blah. You know? And I've done it. I've done it that way. So I just want you guys to know what's going on, you know? So you guys know what's happening. How many people are here? I mean, I can't even see. We have 15 people here. You 15 people are lucky. You're getting to hear all this. Because I shouldn't be saying this, you know, for free. Like those hoodwinks that tell you that they're, you know, they have to pay a $10 membership monthly. I mean, I'm in shock with that. These are all the things that Sweet Kid Kino has shown me. And, you know, you guys, I done every month, you know, every month, like paying your monthly gym, you know, you're paying every month. But I'm telling you realistic things, ladies and gentlemen. So you have all these places in, let's say, Florida, I'm going to say Florida because I'm in Florida. I live in Florida. If you have a good salesperson there and you walk in and you tell her or him that you're looking for the Bruce Wayne, $10,800 watch, and you tell them I'll grease you up with 2 G's for $2,000. I'm telling you, $2,000, and cash is king. Nobody can, see none of that stuff. It's cash. Boom. The lady needs the money. You give her the $2,000, the watch costs you how much? $13,800. Whatever it is, your taxes is better than paying 18 like these guys are asking you, 16, whatever it is. You're still coming ahead. But you're cutting the middleman out of the way. You understand me? I'm showing you what this is all about. I'm not charging you for this. Understand me? This is just for free for you guys to get wiser. There's the way this is done is, money exchange. Back in 2021, when that boom happened, people were sending money, PayPal, Zelle, Venmo, Venom. How do you call that? Give me the word, guys. Tell me. Whatever it is. People were sending money back and forth and just sending money, and people were getting the watches they wanted. Venmo, there you go. Venmo, thank you, Gran 65, thank you so much. And people were just sending money back and forth. It was a crazy situation. And people were giving away their children's tuition money away. People were giving away their SBA loan they got on their business, $2 million, $5 million, and they were just giving it all away, it was unbelievable. Their SBA loans, they just blew it all away. Unbelievable, but true, ladies and gentlemen. This is the way the game is. The game is rigged. The game is totally rigged. And somebody has to tell you that the game is totally rigged, ladies and gentlemen. So it might as well be Kino to tell you, not me. I'm not telling you nothing. Sweet Kid Kino tells me what to tell you, and I'm the voice. Sweet Kid Kino's in love with his girlfriend, and he's running all over the place. I try to tell him already that I don't know if this girl fits, his world, and that he's spending money like an animal. But what am I going to do, I'm here working, doing this for him, so he can have a better life. How much should I pay for a used tutor? Pelagios? Hey, I tell you, if you tell that to one of your favorite Muppet Boiler Room secondary great watch market channels, he'll tell you to pay the monthly fee, and he'll tell you how much you should pay. Unbelievable, but true. Unbelievable, but you're asking me. Send me, shoot me a message if you belong to our watch group in Facebook. Facebook is it? Yeah, Facebook. Go to Opus Time, and if you're not in it, request it. Maybe you get in. Ask me there, okay? And I'll shoot you a message back. But I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen, stop being window lickers and lollipop suckers. Ustedes ya están que parecen unas prostitutas regalando el dinero. We've been doing this, ladies and gentlemen. We started playing with this channel. It's going on 3 years. And I never did none of that Snapchat, Super Chat. Sweet Kid Kino never did it. But since we saw that you guys were giving super chats to the Hungry Hippo, Mr. Magoo, the $150 million company, Deputy Droopy Butthole Eyes with the Tweety Bird haircut, the Walrus Fat Bastard. We say we might as well do the same thing too then, because we're a bunch of lollipop suckers by doing this, we're a bunch of, dodo birds. We might as well then join them then, it's something normal then. So this is why we did it. If not, we would have never even asked you for none of that chat situation. But anyway, I know that I'm going to have to be in charge of taking care of Sweet Kid Kino's marital, when they get married, I'm going to have to take care of everything. My wife tells me that I shouldn't get involved in that, but I'm the kind of man I am. I'm stupid like that, know, Sweet Kikino works for me, you know. Sweet Kikino is a floor installer that works for me. He's my best installer. He's unbelievable. Very quick on the floor, installing marble, and it's unbelievable. And installing kitchen countertops. He's great. And he's a good kid. He's just a little bit naive, if I may say that, you know. Las mujeres acaban con él. Women take all his money, you know. And I honestly believe that the girl that he has, she's a gold digger. So, no lies, Scout's honor. So now you know a lot of things, how to handle things. If you guys are going to be going to the Caribbean, you know how to attack it. You walk in there, he says, guys, I heard my watch came in and I got grease money in my pocket, to whoever gives it to me. Okay? So I already talked to you about Bonaire. I talked to you about St. Martin. I talked to you about the United States Virgin Islands. I talked about Turks and Caicos, right? Caicos, you say that word? How do you say it? How do you say that word? How do you say that word again? Turks and Caicos, right? And there's another one. There's another one that they love to get greased up. These people love to get greased up. And it is in the island of the Cayman Islands. They're unbelievable. They're unbelievable. That luxury authorized dealer in the Cayman Islands, you know? They want to get greased up. So if you're going to Cayman Islands, they're unbelievable. You're rushing it. You're rushing it, grande. I'm getting there. I'm getting to the Bahamas. Unbelievable. And ladies and gentlemen, there's another one. There's another one in the Caribbean too. These guys are a bunch of rats. I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to tell you something today. I was born in New York City in a summer day of August 22nd, 1962 in the Bronx. I was born there. I was born there. But my parents, my mother, my beloved mother, and my beloved father, they are from the island of Puerto Rico. You know, Puerto Rico. I'm not Puerto Rican. I was born in New York City, but I consider myself 100% Puerto Rican. You know, I consider myself, even though I was born in the States, I'm considered Puerto Rican. Sunny side. You for real. So I was born in the Bronx. I was born in a hospital called Bronx, Lebanon. And my parents are from Puerto Rico. And there is some luxury authorized dealers in the island of Puerto Rico where my parents were born, where I believe I'm from. I'm from there, Puerto Rico. They're a bunch of gonorrheas, man. These people are monsters over there. So when I went over there, they want grease. They want to get grease in the island of Puerto Rico. You go there, and if you want a Rolex watch, let's say you want a Joe Biden Datejust, you know, Datejust with a stainless steel with a Jubilee band. You want that watch. You tell the salesperson, you know, you tell them like that. You get off the boat, whether it's Celebrity, whether it's Royal Caribbean, whether it's Carnival, whatever it is, and you go into that authorized dealer and you tell them, I got $1,000 on top of, you're going to charge me for the watch, for that Datejust, you know, Joe Biden with the blue dial, Jubilee bracelet, is going to appear. It will appear, but you got to grease him up. This is my island of Puerto Rico. It's a beautiful island. I mean, there's beautiful things. We're talking about, you know, authorized dealers in Puerto Rico. We're not talking about the island. The island is beautiful. You know, have you guys been to Puerto Rico? Any of you out there? No? Beautiful island. Make Canada a state. Unbelievable. You're right, Ed. If you want to wait for election, you have to. Okay. Hey, Puerto Rico curry thieves. Yep, that's right. Yep. Plus cash. Do not do it. There you go. Look at that. Guys, know too much. So that's what's happening in Puerto Rico. We got a lot of smart people here, okay? A lot of smart people. Gentlemen, we have 24 organic watch channel subscribers seeing this podcast. But I want you to know, after we finish this live podcast, this is going to go away in the vote. Whoever heard all this today heard it, and if you didn't hear it, you didn't hear it. You know, they're not going to see it. You know, you guys were the lucky ones. You guys were lucky. Don't be window lickers and lollipop suckers or tomato cans. That's right. Street Kick Kino needs Snapchats to pay the portion. Guys, take it easy. Sweet Kick Kino not know about that stuff that I'm telling you that he's going to be a father. This is why this cannot come out. I'm telling you too much gossip. I can't do that. My people, they will never again give me an AP or I'm telling you how I do it. I'm in the stone business. You know, I do beautiful finishes. Unbelievable. Not me, Sweet Kick Kino. He's not here, but Sweet Kick Kino does beautiful flooring finishes and countertops and exotic and all that good stuff. It's unbelievable. So if you're going to go to Puerto Rico, you know what to expect. Drink a cold medalla. You know, the beer from Puerto Rico is la cerveza medalla. It gets you, man, it gets you tipsy and nice, you know. You want to do the chiqui boom boom, you know, chiqui boom boom when you go over there, you know. And la perla, you know, en el Viejo San Juan, you know, blue cobblestone, you know, you're walking around, it's unbelievable. But that's Puerto Rico. Unbelievable, true. Go to bed, Kino. Look at that. Look at this guy, Ray. Ray, you're back, man. Ray, I'm going to tell you something. There you go. There you go. $1. Kevin, respect to you, Kevin. That's called respect. Because you saw this video. And Ray, you saw it too. Or maybe you missed it, what I said. I think Ray missed it. Kino told me that he would like, I'm not going to tell you because Kino's unbelievable. He's a mess. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to tell you now about an island in the Caribbean, which it all works with this. You know, if you're looking for luxury watches, I'm not saying no names. I didn't say no names. And that number one spot in the Caribbean is in the Bahamas. It's unbelievable. In the Bahamas. I've done so much work in the Bahamas, it's not funny. I've sent so many cans. I have sent so many cans. You know, you guys know what a can is? You guys know what a can is. You guys don't know what a can, right? All right, to you guys that don't know what a can. Does anybody know what a can is? No? Nobody knows what a can is. Man, you know we got 29 organic watch. Absolutely. Wow. Grande 65. Tere Grande. That's right. That's right. That man, Grande 65, is a smart man. He understands what a can is. I have sent so many cans, so many containers, so many 20 footers, 40 footers to that island. It's unbelievable. And this is exactly how I get my watches. Did you hear that, Ray? Ray, did you hear that? Did you hear it? That's how I get all those watches I want. Unbelievable but true. 20. Look at that. We got a bunch of smart people here. I said cans, and some people thought it was a tomato can. But I have sent so many containers to the island of the Bahamas. And basically, I have been able to allocate whatever watch I want. on behalf, trading my craftsmanship for the watch. Unbelievable, but true. Unbelievable. Gentlemen, you're getting today something big. You saw me. I didn't even put this up. At what time? Whoever's here is going to get to hear stories today for free. Okay? So in the Bahamas, grease them up. I don't know which luxury authorized dealer, but le pasa la mano por el orto. You know what orto is? You Google it. You understand me? You Google it. So you know how it's done. And then in Florida, any of those stores in the malls that carry luxury watches, if you have a good salesperson that's been working with you, or you just met, it's better just to meet them for the first time. Because when you know them for too long, they get kind of scared of you. But when you just come up to them right away, look, I'm looking for this watch. I don't want to play around no more, and I'm willing to give a gift. I'm willing to give a gift away. And you say that knee pads, unbelievable. I'm willing to give a couple of G's for this watch for myself. You know that Oyster Perpetual, green dial, red dial, all those watches, you give them a couple of dollars and you'll be okay, you'll be okay. You'll get the watch you want. But this is how it is, ladies and gentlemen. This is all rigged. This is all rigged. And you need to know about this, ladies and gentlemen. You need to know about this, because nobody's going to tell you. Not even those channels that are charging you a monthly fee, to be in their private, information. I'm giving you the private information. I'm giving it to you for free right now. The only thing is that this video, only 25 people were watching it and they got to hear this, because this is going to go away. I'm telling you how it is. I'm telling you how it is. You were lucky ones today. Lo hice en fragante, lo hice en fragante. You cannot continue to be dodo birds. Remember, we've been chosen as the number one channel that speaks the truth. We're not, people don't like us in the Muppet Boiler Room secondary gray watch market. We have shown you people too many things. We have shown you too many outs. You understand me? We've done this because, it takes time to build one, especially being a luxury watch market PSA. That's right. It's a public service announcement watch channel. That's what we are. And these people want us out. But they can't get us out because, we're not flim-flamming here, nobody. We're teaching. I'm like a teacher in grammar school. The truth. I'll tell you one secret. This is Sweet Kino's channel. But a lot of things that I learned in my life, and this is for real. A lot of the things that I learned in my life, I'm going to get sentimental now. I learned from my father. This man was sharp. This man was unbelievable. My father, he was unbelievable. Grande mi padre. Brillante. He would sit me down and explain to me things, how this world works, So a lot of these things I learned from my father. My father was a beast. He was an animal. He really was. And he would always tell me, don't be a yo-yo. Don't be a yo-yo. Be smart. You understand me? That's what my father would tell me. So a lot of these things that I've learned in my life, I think I should share them with you guys. I think I should tell you. I'm not here, I'm not being a rat. Nobody wants to hear the truth, And people that are flim-flamming you, especially those, they don't want to hear the truth. This is why they flock to my channel to hear what I have to say, because, I'm like a deacon in a church, I'm dropping knowledge. That's right. Truth hurts. And I'm giving it to you guys because you guys need to, you see, people don't understand that when 27 people are looking at this channel, these 27 people that are looking at it now, they're going to share this information and share it and share it and share it. And it keeps on going. It spreads out. You know, it wakes up the masses. You know, it wakes up the masses. That's right. I have my father's footsteps. A great man, very shrewd. He could have been a little bit wrinkle at times. Wrinkle means he could he can get annoyed and he can tell you, you know, go frog off. You know, that's it. You know, I'm gonna tell you one story. This is my last story. Many, many years ago in the Bronx of New York, my father had a Plymouth Fury. Do you know what a Plymouth Fury is? You know, Plymouth Fury, a car. It was it was an older car. And my father was working in a place and they gave my father an air condition, you know, a box air condition. And my father found a customer for this box air condition. This is back in 1970. This is 72, 73. So my father tells me, son, come with me. I'm going to go to Long Island, New York. You know, we used to live in the hood, in the Bronx, you know, and decaying buildings and burning buildings and all that good stuff. So I told my father, I will get excited to go with him because I was going to go to Long Island, which Long Island is where the people that at least in my mind, I thought that's where the rich people lived at. And we were, you know, we were we weren't poor. See, I'm going to show you something else today, quickly. You guys, none of you are poor. You know, because that guy's poor because these people are poor. We're not poor. We're not poor. We're just broke. So at that time, we were not poor. We were just broke. We were a broke family. We didn't, you know, we had dinner. Our rent was paid off, but we were just broke. My father was working and jobs and a taxi driver and working as a stock boy, a stock man, whatever you call it. So anyway, he took the air conditioner that they gave to him to sell it to somebody in Long Island, New York. And I went with him. So when we get there, my father gets to the guy's house, beautiful house, you know, in Long Island. And my father takes out the air conditioner to show it to the gentleman. Blah, 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 blah. And my father sees the car that the man has. My father says to him, this is just a way of selling tactic. He wasn't doing this in a malicious way, or he wasn't trying to con anybody. He was just trying to make the sale. And he says, oh my God, I love that car that you have. That's a beautiful car. My father tells the gentleman, that's a beautiful car. And when my father tells the gentleman that's a beautiful car, my father says, I also have that car. And this was a tactic of my father trying to sell the box air conditioner that it was a hand down. My father says to him, I have that car. And I looked at my father puzzled. And I said, Dad, you don't have that car. My father almost killed me when I said, Dad, you don't have that car. The moral of the story is, my father lost the sale, and we had like an hour and 20-minute drive from Long Island back to the Bronx. You've done the same thing, right, Ed? Unbelievable. So as I'm driving from Long Island, New York, where the rich people, in my mind, back in 72, I believe that's where they lived at, I was just sitting in the front seat, just there, you know, quiet. And my father looked at me and he told me these words in Spanish at that time. He says to me, when adults are talking, you never get involved. Never get involved. I was just trying to make a sale. You're right, I don't have that car. I was just trying to make the sale so I could put more food in the table for you guys. All right? And that's the story of the air conditioner. You guys are hearing some heavy stuff here today, right? And listen, guys, all these Muppet boiler rooms are never going to change. They're going to continue flim-flamming you. They're going to continue flim-flamming you all day long, right? You know, the scorpion is an unbelievable, insect, animal, whatever you want to call it. The scorpion. The scorpion is one day sitting in one side of this big lake. And he wanted to cross from this side of the lake to the other side. But he couldn't do it because he didn't know how to swim. He didn't know how to swim. The scorpion. This is another story that my father taught me, and I'm going to teach you guys. And these Muppet Boiler Room secondary grade watch market, they have a nature of the way they are, and they're never going to change. They're never going to change because this is the way they make money. It's part of life. They make money, and it's in their nature. So the scorpion is inland, and he's trying to get from this side to this side, but he doesn't know how to swim. So the scorpion sees a turtle. Never forget this story. It's going to be good for you guys in your lives. My father showed me this story. So the scorpion, he sees a turtle, and he walks up to the turtle, and he tells the turtle, why don't you can swim, why don't you let me get, that's right, the nature. The scorpion tells the turtle, why don't you let me get on top of your, on back of your, your shell, and we can swim to the other side where I want to go. That's right, a Muppet would always be a Muppet. Nature will be nature always. It's in the nature. The turtle tells the scorpion, how am I going to let you get on top of me? And when I'm swimming, and I'm halfway, you're going to sting me. Right? And the scorpion tells the turtle, how am I going to do that to you, turtle? If I sting you, we both are going to die. Listen to how brilliant this scorpion was. He tells the turtle, ¿cómo te voy a picar? Si te pico, los morimos los dos. That's my father, telling me, a 9-year-old kid, 10-year-old kid. I heard that story 10, 11, 12, 13, and 12. I was like 40. And it got better every time he would tell me. So the scorpion tells the turtle, how am I going to sting you? If I sting you, I kill you and I kill myself. And I want to get to the other side of the lake. Unbelievable. No, the turtle, no, I'm not going to do that, scorpion. You're an SOB. It's in your nature. It's in your nature. The turtle knows. It's in his nature. Like it's in the Muppet Boiler Room secondary Great Watch Market Channel dealers' nature. Para romperte el orto. Unbelievable. That's right. Liquors, tomato cans. So anyway, persistent in life pays off. Whatever you do, it pays off. It really does. If you're looking for a watch, a car, it does pay off. In this case, the scorpion kept on, it kept on nagging this turtle. He says, but I told you already, if I sting you, we're going to die. And you're telling me that we're in the middle of the lake, I'm going to pinch you. I'm not going to do that. I want to get to that side. I have family members over there. The scorpion is telling them, I got Sweet Kid Keen on that side. I got everybody over there, Man, and he really convinced the turtle, and he had him dizzy, the turtle, and the turtle said, okay, man, hop on my back. And they're going, they're cruising, and the scorpion is telling the turtle, see, I told you, I'm not going to do nothing to you. Yeah, they're cruising, bah, 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 bah. And when they're like, pretty close to the other side, boom, boom, the scorpion stings the turtle in the neck. And the turtle looks back in shock. Scorpion, you sting me. And you know what the scorpion told him? It's in my nature to frog you. And they both went down. True story. Okay? That's another one for you guys. Se jodió la tortuga. Eso es correcto, papi. ¿Verdad que eso es así? Dilo. Eso es así. Se jodió la tortuga. You know, Grande 65 said that the turtle got frogged up. Tragic story, right? But that's how it is. And you guys are the same. You guys are believing these people, what they tell you, because you want to believe it. You know, you want to believe it. You want to believe that it's true. That's right. So I told you a couple of stories today so you can put them in your arsenal, because this video nobody's going to see no more. It was between us. That's right. The scorpion sold him a GMT 21K and also used his towel to get dry. Unbelievable but true. But there it is, ladies and gentlemen. Be proud of yourself that you got to hear these stories, whoever's hearing them, because they're going to go back in the vault, and I'm not going to charge you $10 so you can hear it again. You know, like some of these flim-flammers who are conning you guys. He should have stung him after today's hoodwinks. Wait till they get you. And you're something else. But there it is, okay, guys? Those are the stories for you guys, all right? And before I let you go, also, too, I made a video yesterday on another way they're attacking you guys. And they're doing now this attack on that, you know, when a man proposes to a woman, you know, in a marriage, the woman should give a man a watch. Don't fall for that. You know, it's a new way of them, you know, to try to bring up their dying selves, because nobody's buying watches, all right? And you have the poster child, you know, this gentleman that I call Jose Feliciano, with the black, you know, sunglasses, something like this, you know, to the ones that didn't watch it. And he wears a black T-shirt, and he has nippleitis, you know, unbelievable. That guy, you know, he's the poster child to get you guys taken with this new, you know, new slogan they got going on that, you know, when a man proposes and gives a woman a diamond ring, the woman should give the man, let's say, a Rolex watch. That's another BS, all right? So don't fall for that, all right? This is how it is. The Hungry Hippo is unbelievable. The Hungry Hippo is unbelievable. You should hear him. It's unbelievable. Mr. Magoo, the Hungry Hippo. Well, guys, I hope you had a good time listening to my stories and what I had to say. I use all this stuff for, you know, to defend yourselves from all these flim-flammers. You know, I just want to ask a question. Right now, I have 30 people looking at this live. Not that I care, but, you know, I'm 62 years old. What age brackets are you guys? You know, you guys in the 30s, 20s, 40s, 50s, 60s? What age are you guys? Take care and brush your hair. 50s, there you go, 50s. Don't pay more. That's right, 50, that's 50s is good. 52, okay, Franco. 55, bien grande, bien. 30s, good. 52, Blair, wow, good. Did you guys learn something today that you're going to use for yourselves? Did you learn something? No? Nobody learned nothing. Okay. Can't afford any watch. I want to do like beans. Yes, we did. Take care. Brush your hair. Anyway, guys, don't forget to subscribe to my channel, like my video. And like I say every week, in behalf of me and Sweet Kid Kino, have a beautiful Saturday afternoon and evening. Be happy, be positive, and don't get fleeced and flim-flam by anybody. All right, guys? Take care, guys.